Rex, Daniel, whiskey.
Hey, it's a gift from Boris Chang.
Boris Chang?
Yeah.
You magnificent bastard!
Fight.
This is the second of, I think, another one. I think there's some more in there. Okay, man, more and more, High West, it's always been one of my favorite distilleries.
This is High West New Make?
This is a High West New Make.
Oh.
But it's not just, I like their whiskey, but I love this. They're like Compass Box in their level of transparency.
Yeah.
They just tell everything all the time with info downloads of what's in here.
Right.
This is
It's lovely.
a 250 gallon batch of oat, 85% oat, 15% barley New Make.
The oat surprises me, the barley not so much.
They let it go through a French limousine oak for 5 minutes so they could call it whiskey.
It's technically whiskey.
Yes, technically whiskey now.
The perfumey aromatic, almost I want to say sandalwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a light whiskey because it was distilled at 87.5%. So it was a really high distillation.
Are we getting something proof down from that? 40%. Wow,
Yeah,
there's
then
a
they proof
lot,
it down.
A lot of nose coming out of 40% whiskey.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And again, the perfumey quality of that sandalwood. I'm not getting any kind of oatiness on the nose.
No.
But the barley. See, I've had barleys like this, almost floral in the presentation.
Yeah, I am still not certain that I've got a handle on wheat, like recognizing wheat.
Okay.
Like I'm good at it with corn, I'm good at it with barley, I'm reasonable with rye when it's mixed in with other things, it's hard to pin out.
Right.
Higher rye I can pick up pretty quickly.
Sure.
Wheat is still something of a mystery to me because I lack experience with it.
Well, in my head, I'm probably in a similar boat. It's kind of like this idea of a soft sweetness.
I want to think soft.
But I've had here on the channel a one or two wheat whiskeys that was like, oh, no. This is a wheat whiskey. This is not just a generic soft sweetness. This is interesting and nuanced.
I almost get a light...
Why are we talking about wheat?
Because that's what this is.
This is oat.
I mean, oat. Yeah, sorry, I said wheat. I meant oat. This whole time I was using the word wheat.
Right.
I mean oat.
No,
I've got the only oat I really have experience with is with the oat that was used in
Corsair?
Oat Ridge and
What about Corsair?
But
Yeah.
it's aged, right?
Yeah.
And there's a few other that use oat in the mash bill, but not enough that I know I could pick it out. So go back and replace every time I said wheat with oat.
Okay. So the I'm gonna say almost like forest vegetation, floral, perfumey sandalwood nose. This is one of the most interesting damn near new makes I've ever had.
I completely agree with that. It's almost...
On the nose, I still haven't tasted.
So here's the thing, and it's probably because they put it in my head and it's psychosomatic. I'm just going on record as this is psychosomatic.
Dance puppet.
But they made a statement that I think, son of a bitch, I totally agree.
Right.
Which is, hey, look, there's silver tequila. Why can't there be silver whiskey? Specifically, a whole category that's entire purpose is to be consumed neat as a new make. Right now, new make is the stepchild of the whiskey category.
Right.
Whiskey has to be aged.
There's been several new makes that I've had, and it's let me put it this way: it's the exception, not the rule, because most people are designing for the finished whiskey, but the exceptional new makes that I've had have truly been exceptional. I think this is probably one of the most interesting and complex new makes. Then again, I say new make. It technically touched wood, so
it tastes slightly dirty is the wrong word. It's slightly dusty or earthy. There's a dry earthiness to this instead of pure sugar.
Oh,
You see what I mean?
it's less sweet on the taste than I was expecting.
Yeah, I really like this. So this makes me think I'm getting in the nose all these silver tequila notes.
Right.
But I think it's because they put it in my head.
You know why I really like the idea of a silver whiskey? Because you can make it and sell it.
Yes, with a baby distillery, it's a great idea. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this. But this has got all the earthy complexity of something I'd really like to drink. And actually, you know what it reminds me of? It's closer to Sotol.
Okay.
Remember that Sotol that we had?
No, I don't.
It was in the blue bottle. It's down the street from us. The Sotol distillery. It's desert Sotol.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You never poured it for me.
Yeah, in my office once. It was like a year ago.
Okay. The taste on this.
Oh, a little water made it sweeter.
There's much more. Again, similar with the nose. There's a lot more complexity and character and just layers of flavor going on than you would expect, especially at 40%.
Man,
this tastes
I'm a fan.
a little bit more lively than 40% to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to compare it to an Everyman bottle that anybody can get that's more classically what the industry views as moonshine.
Is this the people's comparison?
This is the people's comparison.
Or the people?
And we're going to use Georgia Moon, aged less than 30 days.
I've seen this.
Now, this is a corn whiskey.
I'm wiping the dust off.
So it's a whole different grain component.
Right.
But I don't have any oat new make in this vault at all.
Right.
So I can't compare it to another oat new make.
Yeah, so that's... You know what? I think we probably need to do some experiments with oats.
Me too, I like that.
Yeah.
Georgia Moon, this is corn whiskey. Now remember...
This is much more familiar when it comes to like new make moonshine type of just big,
perfumey,
desserty sweet.
Remember, corn whiskey has a whole legal category inside of the federal government, which means it has to be at least 80% corn, and it can be unaged or aged in uncharred or used oak.
Okay.
Right? So like the corn whiskey coming out of Iron Root Republic is because they're using used oak.
Right.
Right, and 80% corn.
The category of corn whiskey in the States has one of the most flexible... Right, one of the most flexible criteria to achieve that label on your bottle.
Unaged, uncharred.
But I think it is held back by the simple name corn whiskey.
And also because it's a grain dominant. Like you can't do that with all the other grains.
Well,
you can't say barley whiskey has to be at least 80% barley and can be aged in used oak.
I think the name corn whiskey is just so, tame and boring. People don't think this could be an amazing, interesting thing.
Dude, these are closer than I would have ever guessed.
You shut your filthy face.
Take a sip.
You shut your filthy face.
What it has
You
in
keep
common-
opening the filthy face, and I keep telling you to shut the filthy face.
It doesn't have the initial burst of flavors in common, but it has the same after effect dryness in common.
All right, hold on. In the 100% experience of this and the 100% experience of this, the experience overlap you're talking about is like a 10% overlap.
10 to 20.
With the dryness.
Yeah, but that surprised me.
You're braced for sweetness.
Yes.
But the flavors, the actual flavors.
Then the actual flavors are different.
Right.
But it surprised me that same dry finish to both of them. I thought this would be so different you could never possibly have anything in common.
Is a little bit brighter and more glassy and a little bit more of a sugary sweetness there.
Yeah, metallic sugar.
But the finish is where that dryness shows up.
Yeah. This is just candy sweet finished with dry and a little bit sharp and metallic. This one is all the rich grain impact and then finishing with this dry finish.
Well, I mean, it's better than I was expecting from just the Georgia Moon.
I may or may not have used to bring a bottle of this down to the hot tub when the band would hang out after shows, and all four of us would be in the hot tub passing around Georgia Moon, mostly because we thought it was funny.
Shout out Georgia Moon corn whiskey.
Mostly because we thought it was funny, but I always reminded me of sake. Like if you mixed tequila and sake, you get Georgia Moon.
How's your George accent, Dan?
Not very good.
You talk like there's just... I saw the episode of The Office.
Georgia.
And Andy was describing it as molasses
That's right.
spilling out of your mouth.
Oh, Georgia.
Razorfish. Is there anything less scientific than trying to pick out flavors in whiskey? Cherry flavor? Give me a break.
Yeah, then he followed it with...
I like watching these whiskey tasters and their imaginary flavors they taste in alcohol. Chocolate, LOL, total frauds. You're right, you got us. You got us, Razorfish. Nailed it.
Okay, so no, this is something that's actually true, and I kind of wanted to cover it because...
Well, but I don't even know what you're going to say, but people like to attribute their own experience to the rest of humanity. And if they have an experience, then it's not true. Like, it's not really actually accurate at all. But you have things you're pulling up, apparently.
Yeah, so here's where he's right.
Right.
He's right on that the most of taste is through smell, and smell goes straight into the right brain, which is subjective reality. Right? And most of taste is based on previous experience, which inherently makes it a subjective reality.
Okay.
Right? So, yes, taste is inherently subjective, which is why we say the only definition of good whiskey is whiskey you like the way you like to drink it. There's a book by a French author. I'll put it in the comments in the description.
Right.
when we get it. And he was a wine guy. He addressed wine, but he also brought spirits into it later in the book. He's a French author,
right.
And it's amazing. But what he did was show you, because here's the reality. We don't taste banana. What we taste is the chemical responsible for what we interpret as the flavor of banana.
Right.
That's why you can do fake flavored things.
Sure.
Because if you insert the chemical from banana that makes a banana taste like a banana, you can put it in candy and it's banana flavored candy.
Banana.
Right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, that chemical is the thing your brain's interpreting as banana. That chemical is real. It is not subjective.
Mm-hmm.
When we taste it, most people interpret that chemical as a banana flavor.
But to further complicate the issue, we've gone on record hundreds of times at this point saying what you're going to get out of the nose and the taste of any given whiskey is going to be drastically different depending on what you just drank, what you just ate, the time of day. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah, which is the subjective part.
Yeah.
Right? So he's right on that. But on the other hand,
right.
in the process of making whiskey,
so
very specific chemicals are created, and those chemicals are absolutely responsible for real tastes that we taste in other food things.
I care so hard that Razorfish feels this way that I think we should do chemical analysis of all the whiskey.
Yeah, it's been done. There's a reason that I'm talking about this.
We invest in the equipment.
Oh God, that's tens of thousands of dollars, dude.
Razorfish is worth it.
Yeah, no, he's not. No. I wanted to give this because I think it's a valuable insight into for all whiskey drinkers. That look, the reason that whiskey tastes the way it does, because we've had multiple people say, "Wait," and this is a real question we get all the time. Is there actual cherry flavoring in there?
No.
Why are you tasting cherries?
No.
And we're saying, no. What's happening is the impact of the spirit with the wood and the yeast and all the different things that happen along the process create chemicals that are also in cherry.
Yeah.
Or also in vanilla, or also in other things. And so your brain experiences those chemicals
or if you can't
as that thing.
Pin down a specific fruit, then you just get this general idea of there's a fruity sweetness because the types of sugars that often show up in
That's
fruit.
right.
Yeah.
So it's yes and. Yes, is it subjective? Absolutely. Is it based on a chemical reality? Absolutely.
I am confident we went over...
No, I'm not trying to win him over.
No. I'm confident we went over the internet commenter because that's how, that's how it works.
That's the idea.
You talk about...
The facts?
Yeah.
Yeah, just give people who don't understand something, you just need to give them more facts.
More time and attention.
That's
and
how all the internet works.
And then you win them over.
Yeah, you win them over with bludgeoning them with facts.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Self-sufficient man. My great aunt and uncle lived in Santa Claus Lane, North Pole, Alaska.
Remember we talked about that because we had the Alaskan whiskey from the North Pole?
My aunt's maiden name is Rudolph. My grandma used to have to call her using an operator many years ago, saying she wanted to talk to Miss Rudolph on Santa Claus Lane, North Pole, Alaska, and they always thought that she was a prankster.
Yeah, of course. They're all, ma'am, we're busy.
Right.
Like, no, I need to talk to my family. Ma'am, imagine trying to make a 911 call. Like, my husband's having a heart attack. Where? I'm in Santa Claus. I'm on Santa Claus Lane in the North Pole. They're like,
and he's dead.
man, he's dead.
Here's fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
May you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.